Hello guys, this video is for pre-cal Thursday and Friday, April 2nd and April 3rd. Sorry for the delay. This lesson's for law of sines and law of cosine. So I'm gonna start with law of sines and show you how to use law of sines. So usually you would be given a triangle. Oops, let me draw this better. You'll be given a triangle that is usually not a right triangle. It can be any triangle. And you have a pair. What I mean by a pair is that you have an angle and you would have a length that is across from it. Okay? And you should have another set of pair. So it would be another angle. So angles, we usually use big letters, and length, we would use small letters. So the length across from that would be small b. Okay, and the last set would be like a C and a smaller c. Okay, so to use this formula that I'm going to write soon, you really only need two pairs. Okay, so if I already have sine A, I should have a small a under it, and this needs to align with another pair. So if you have a sine B, then you would just need a length B at the bottom. Okay, so really by the time you see your questions, you wouldn't see these A's and B's or C's anymore. Okay, so I can write another comparison. If you have sine C and you have a sine A, then right under it, it should be C and A. Okay, so might as well write the last one. If I have, B, sine B over B, then it would be sine C over small c. Okay, so let me show an example. If I have a triangle that have an angle and another angle, x and 21, like that. Okay, so this one is very straightforward. You have a pair and you have another pair right here. Okay, so set it up. It would be sine, and remember the angle always goes right next to the trig ratio. So, or trig symbol, which is sine right here. So it'll be sine 35 over 21 equals to sine 65 over x. Okay, so always use something that have a variable in there because that's really what you're solving for. Okay, so we're going to do a cross multiply, which we have x times sine 35 equals to 21 times sine 65. And we're going to keep solving for this. We want to solve for x, so divide both sides by sine 35. Sine 35. So sine 35 goes away. We already have x equals, and whatever this is, that's going to be your answer. So put this in your calculator, and keep in mind when you put it in the calculator, always refer to degree. Okay, so you should get approximately 33.18. Okay, next example. So I can set this example up and then you try to do it on your own. 10 like that. So sometimes they would give you extra information and then you have to decide what you really need. Okay, so definitely I see a pair because I have an angle and I see a pair right here with the length, and I have another pair with the x and 13. Okay, so we set up sine 52 over 15 equals to sine x over 13. Cross multiplied, we have 15 times sine x equals to 13 sine 52. And then we're going to divide both sides by 15. Cross out the 15. Keep writing. We have sine x equals to whatever this is. Okay, so you can get that into a number on your calculator. And then what we're going to do last, to solve for x, we have to take the inverse sign on both sides. Okay, so at the end, your answer, because the sign, inverse and sign goes away, so x would equal to 43.07. Okay, so try it with your calculator. Make sure your parentheses are inputted correctly. Okay. So those are notes for law of sines. I'm gonna do law of cosine next. So law of cosines. So law of cosine, it's a little bit different. Law of cosine, usually you only have one pair, the same sense of pair that we talked about earlier. So we can say we have a C and we have a small c on the other side. Okay, that's a pair. And then we have the other two linked, which is A and B. Okay, so in order for you to use law of cosines, we have to have the three linked involved, A, B, and C, the small a, b, and c, and an angle, whichever angle. Okay, so the formula would be, in this case, since we're using C, we have the angle C, so it would be small c squared equals to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine C, big C. Okay, let me use some colors to make sure that we don't get the C's mixed up. This is the C that we're looking at, and this is the small c. So small c goes right here. Okay, let's do another one. Another formula like the one above. Let's use B as an example. If I have a B and a small, and a small b. Okay, so to set this up, we would use b squared as a start. Okay, because we're given this pair. So the small b, the length b will start first, and we're gonna make it equal to the other two length that wasn't used. Okay, so which is a squared plus c squared minus 2. And then earlier we had 2ab, so that's why this one we were going to use 2ac times cosine big B. Okay, if you want to, you can set up the last one. I'm going to go ahead and show you an example. So example, this one, just keep it simple. If I have 93-degree right here, and a 6, 9, and x, how would we set this up? What would be our pair? Pair is this one right here. So that means we're always going to start off with the length, which is x squared. Okay, equals to the other two lengths, 6 squared plus 9 squared, minus 2 parentheses, parentheses. Okay, we fill in those 6 and 9 again, and then cosine angle, 93. Okay, you may put all of this in the calculator. Okay, but I'm just going to work it out real quick. We're going to have equals 6 squared, we get 36 plus 81 minus, multiply all those three numbers together, we get 108 times cosine 93. That's about negative 0.052. Okay, I think this is the part where a lot of people get it mixed up. Some people see all three of these numbers together, they'll just kind of combine like terms all together. But keep in mind, the negative 108, oops, this number, multiply to the last number first. Okay, so you gotta get that done first according to PEMDAS. And then you can combine these two things first. Okay, so 36 plus 81 is 117. And when you multiply those two blues together, it would be positive 5.612. Okay, keep going. Again, what we're equaling to is x squared. Okay, so it would be 122.612. And we're going to take the square root on both sides. Again, since we're dealing with length, so we're only going to require positive numbers. So x would be approximately 11.07. Okay, let's do another one. Set up our triangle like this. Okay, so set it up. We have a pair right here. Start with your length equals to the other two length, 17 squared plus 21 squared minus 2 times 17 times 21 times cosine your angle, which is x in this case. Okay, so this example right here, we are finding the angle. Keep going with everything else. We got 17 squared is 289 plus 441 minus, multiply all those three numbers together, is minus 714 cosine x equals to 49. Okay, remember we said these two numbers, we can combine it together first, which we get 730 minus 714 times cosine x. Again, it's very tempting to subtract those two numbers together, the 700 and the 700, but we gotta subtract the 730 over to the other side first, which we get negative 681 equals to negative 714 times cosine x. We're going to keep going to divide the number, cross those out, and you see how we only have cosine left? We can inverse cosine this, and you should be able to get your answer as x is approximately 17.49 degrees. Okay, I'm going to show you about 5 examples. If you think you got the hang of it, you can go ahead and do it on your own. I am going to do number 3. So you have a triangle that have 20x, 9.4, and 10. So how many pairs do we have in this case? We only have one pair, so what would you use? Law of cosine, because we only have one pair, right? So let's go ahead and set up everything. We got x squared equals to the other two length, 9.4 squared plus 10 squared, minus 2 times 9.4 times 10 times cosine 20. Okay, let's keep going. So x squared would equal to 88.36 plus 100 minus 188 cosine 20. Keep going. We got 188.36 minus 176.66, 11.70, which equals to x squared. But if we're going to get x, it would be 3.42. Okay. Number 4. Let me see. We are given 94, 52, x, and 15. Okay, so this one right here, we are given one pair. Okay, so usually remember if we're given one pair, we will use law of cosine, right? But again, using law of cosine, we have to have all three lengths. We don't have the last length. Okay, even though we're given two angles, we can find the last angle, right? Right here, we can find this angle because we have a length that's across from it. So how do I find that angle right there? Since this is a triangle, we can find y plus 94, I'm going to call this y plus 94 plus 52 equals to 180. Okay, so move all your numbers to the right side. We have y equals to 34. So if I claim this to be 34 degrees, we already have a pair. So if we have two pairs, we're going to be using law of sine. Sine 94 over 15 equals to sine 34 over x. Okay, so you're going to keep going with your math. Cross multiply, you should get x equals to 8.41. Okay, show all your work. Next one, I'm going to do number 9. Okay, number 9, we are given a theta, 6.25, 6, 1.75. So this one's pretty obvious what we're going to be using. We only have one pair, and we have all the length given. Law of cosine. 6.25 square equals to 1.75 square plus 6 square minus 2 times 1.75 times 6 times cosine theta. Okay, 6.25 square, we get 39.0625 equals to, that's 3.0625 plus 36 minus, multiply all those three numbers together, we get 21 cosine theta. Okay, combine your numbers. We get 39.0625 minus 21 cosine theta. And then you will notice that the numbers are the same thing. But we still gotta subtract it over. I gotta cross them out. It will still be 0 equals to negative 21 cosine theta. Divide both sides by negative 21. Cross that out. That's going to be 0 equals to cosine theta. That doesn't mean that your theta is going to be 0. Okay, so do your inverse cosine on both sides. Inverse cosine on both sides. Put it in your calculator. You would see that theta actually equals to 90 degrees. Okay. I'm going to do 2 more questions for you. So I'm going to do number 12 and also number, I think this is, let's see, 15. Let me find out what question this is. I don't know if this is 15 or 18. Oh well, you'll figure it out which one it is. So I have my triangle like this for 12. That's x, 25, 120, and 15. Okay, mark your pair. We have one pair. And do we have all the sides? If we don't, that means we gotta create another pair. Okay, we got 2 angles already. Oops. We got this angle, we got this angle. That means we can find out the third angle by using 180. And you would notice that this angle right here is going to be 35 degrees. Okay, so we're going to use our 35-degree and the number that goes across from it, which is 15. Set up your law of sine. Sine 35 over 15 equals to sine 120 over x. You should get x is approximately 22.65. I think this is 15. Okay, so we got our triangle. Actually, the question itself is they give you a measure of angle B is 75 degrees. A equals to 13, C equals to 14, find little b. Okay, so set up your A, B, C, and the length across from it with the small letters. And then we're gonna put our measurements next to it. Angle B is 75 degrees, and we are finding B. And then small a is 13, small c is 14. Okay, so since this is what we're looking for, that's already your pair, and we got all the other length. Set it up. We got b squared equals to 13 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 13 times 14 times cosine 75. Keep solving for it. Actually, all the numbers are already on one side, so you should get 365 minus 94.21 equals to b squared. At the end, you should have b is approximately 16.46. Okay, all right. So that's it for this assignment. Remember your Thursday, might as well do it with Friday. Your assignment is 2 to 22 even. I already did like 5 questions for you, so you should be able to do the rest of them on your own. And since I'm giving your notes kind of late, I will have this just get it done by Thursday, which is, I think it's April 9th. Yeah, it's April 9th. Okay, have a good day.